All right, and we're live. We are live, guys. Welcome to the stream, Red Cape Sports. My name is Bird Bouchard. That other guy is, the producer, Mitch Bouchard, aka the Zion King. Oh, and right off the bat, Mitch, I noticed that we already have some questions coming in here.
Yeah.
So that's exactly what we're here to do, guys. This is a surprise, but I'm going to highlight this. Look at that.
PSA 9. Not bad. I got a 10 at home.
Okay, so the question there is, do you guys think Yager rookie cards PSA 10 will keep going up due to high pop count? I see Mitch kind of, shaking his head yes. I would think because it's essentially a junk wax era card, I would say yes. But obviously, Mitch, you can speak more to it because, you have invested in that. But I don't necessarily think it's going to hurt too much the value. But we'll see.
Yeah, I think it's tough to say. Over the long term, I do know the print run's high. But I have we did an episode on it, but I have a 10, I have a 9, and I have 1 to grade. So I don't have too many of them. But I think over the long term, because of the points and because of the way modern hockey is right now, I don't see a downside in Yager. Big time name, especially if there's going to be any kind of attention. I mean, the guy played with Mario Lemieux, legit the Robin to the Batman, so.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, at the end of the day, he's top 2 points. He's played over such a long period of time. And I've mentioned this before on other streams and other podcasts with the hockey card guru, Mike DiStefano. And, I've always said that the fact that obviously he's played for multiple teams and over such a long time, it really helps multiple collectors kind of realize who he is, right? So, I mean, this guy's played in Pittsburgh, a decently big market. He's played in New York. He's played for so many different markets and throughout such a long period of time that people know who he is. So I think that's super cool. I just thought this was absolutely hilarious. So shout out to you. I have some Canadian Tire cards for sale.
No way. Do you have any Canadian Tire money? I want the Canadian Tire money.
I got like $1.20 in Canadian Tire money just chilling in my piggy bank. So
nice.
Yeah. Let's see. All right, guys.
Dude, so the shirt keeps hitting up my Facebook. Tell him to stop.
So we will get to some questions, but Mitch and I wanted to highlight some of the stuff that we had kind of planned last minute for this. And I do see a typo in there. So I'll just take that down. But what we do have here.
Spelling like me, Bird.
Typo. Oh, that's my fault. That's okay. And then I'll bring it up again on screen.
Yeah, if you guys want, ask away. Start asking as many questions as you want. This is what we're going to do. Probably about a half hour at least. So. Yeah.
So the first one, overrated or underrated Nikolai Ehlers. So Mitch, Nikolai Ehlers is a guy who I've been speaking about for a very long time. He was so affordable, around literally $4 or $5 Canadian, not even USD. Yeah. But obviously, since the trade of Pierre-Luc Dubois, he's really kind of started to climb up the ladder. And I believe he's still very affordable. He's literally like $20 US. And this is a guy who's obviously now he's got a pretty good line. He's finding the back of the net, and he's been consistent. What would you say, overrated or underrated for that price?
I think he's properly rated. Again, I think there's a lot of good players. Yeah, I mean, I say properly rated a lot, but I mean, if anything, he's probably properly rated, nearing underrated. I wouldn't say he's overrated. I wouldn't say he is also like super underrated. So he's a good guy. I mean, I just saw one on ComC yesterday, it looks like. So
nice.
Yeah, I got them kind of high, but that's another story. I want to answer Johnny's question here about Pujols.
Which one is that? Let's see. I can.
So let me know what you think of Albert Pujols as well. PSA 10 going for a lot. So he's getting the PSA 9. I bought a 9.5 a year and a half ago because, as Bird knows, he was part of the era when I was growing up. Pujols is big time. Pujols is a phenomenal hitter. He's going to be remembered as a legendary hitter. And Bird can definitely speak more on that. But I'm bullish. I would say Pujols is very underrated in the long term. So
Yeah, for sure. I mean, when you think about the era of baseball that I grew up in, without a doubt, Albert Pujols was the most feared hitter. Now, he's literally the only guy in MLB history to start his career, the first 10 seasons, to bat at least 300, at least 30 home runs, and at least 100 RBIs in every single season. His 11th season, I believe he batted 299. He had 29 RBIs, or pardon me, 29 home runs, and the RBIs came short, or it was vice versa. But either way,
he's stats together.
He's incredible, though. And I feel like right now he's kind of being, left in the shadow of Mike Trout. But when it's all said and done, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer. He's a phenomenal guy too. And I mean, there's always going to be some St. Louis Cardinals fans who kind of have a bitter taste left in their mouth. But, at the end of the day, he's done so much for St. Louis. So I don't think there's going to be an issue with his card prices there.
I mean, dude, just looking at his career, I mean, he's got 3 big stats. You have a 299 batting average over his career. And I'm pretty sure that's given the fact that he's had some years where he's well above 300, over 660 home runs, and well over 3,200 hits. And is he still playing, though?
Albert Pujols is very well still playing.
Yeah, he's 41. So
his numbers aren't that terrible. If you look at them, I mean, this is a guy who's still crushing around 15, 20 plus home runs a year, which realistically, that's not that bad. Now, when you compare it to when he was crushing 45 home runs, 120 RBIs, obviously the numbers are down. But, he's nearing 40 years old. Either way, I think a guy like Pujols, I think a guy like Miggy Cabrera, extremely undervalued right now. Extremely.
Yeah. Perfect. So let's talk, dude. I want to get on. What about Star Stock though?
I was about to highlight that. So obviously on this channel, Red Cape Sports, if you guys been on with it, thank you so much. I'm always speaking about ComC. That's just personally what I like. Now, my thoughts on Star Stock, however, is, and obviously, if I say anything wrong, let me know down below in the comments. But the thing for me, for Star Stock, you can't get a Yager on there, right? Because he's not currently playing rookie. You can't get basically anyone out of league. You can't get a like I said, you can't get a Yager. You can't get a Jerome McGinley. You can't get an Ivan Rodriguez. You can't get those type of cards because they focus on currently playing rookies. And I feel like that market is so narrowly tight. They're doing a lot of great things. And I mean, this is a company that kind of just came out, within the year throughout the pandemic. And obviously they've done a lot of good things, even getting Kevin Durant, to kind of endorse it, which is wonderful. But I think what ComC does better than them is ComC actually takes the photos where you can see them. I personally, Mitch, I don't like seeing that the company is listing them as an A, a B, or a C. I want to see what the card looks like, right? Because what the company says is an A, that might not be what I think is an A, so on and so forth. And I think just a couple weeks ago, Les Alex had me on his channel, so shout out to Les. And he was showing some stats that Starstock actually, they sent in cards, and what they received back, it wasn't that great. Oh, and there's the hat there.
Dude, I haven't worn a hat since baseball, dude. Get me on the mound, baby.
Bird has left civilization, I see. I love it.
Bird, your beard is pretty crazy. I think it looks kind of cool, though. It looks pretty cool.
So, yeah, I'll highlight that, kind of speak to the beard as well. Long story short, quarantine.
Dude, look at that picture of Tiger Woods. That's when he got arrested.
Picture of Tiger Woods.
Dude, Tiger Woods' biggest mistake was admitting to everything. He should have just kept doing what he was doing. He would have never had that big break,
Oh man, that's another thing too. I was watching Sports Center, and the similarities between his son Charlie and their swing.
Oh, dude, Charlie's good, dude.
I mean,
Charlie's dope.
it's like does Charlie Woods have any rookie cards out yet?
Dude, I might get them. John Daly's son, really good. I think John Daly's son and Tiger Woods' son, they're gonna clash on the golf course, dude. But yeah,
Yeah,
shout out. Les Alex has some cool hats. So
yeah. Shout out to Les. Let's see. What else did we have here? This one was big. Oh, and dude, we're up to 24 people watching, so this is a big one. As I pull this up on screen,
dude, I feel like Joe Rogan, man. Like speaking.
here we go, boys. So for those of you who don't know, Vegas Dave, and again, I love Vegas Dave. Watch a lot of his content. He recently released a video claiming that by the year 2024, the sports card market will crash. Not cards are going to go down.
Yeah.
He said it will crash. He was burning Michael Jordan stickers. He was burning all types of stuff.
Yeah.
He believes that from the top, there's so much market manipulation and things like that going on. Mitch, what do you think? Is the market going to fully crash in 3 years' time?
It's so weird now. Like that's such a big question. Are some cards being manipulated? Of course. Like even on our channel, dude, like we've talked about some cards that, dude, we never even bought, and we saw the prices go up just because people buy them. It's all about it in life in general, business, selling cards. It's all about attention. When Gary Vee talks about somebody, the card's going to go up. I promise you, Pokemon cards are going to go through the roof. That's why it's in the prediction video. They already have. Logan Paul is going to be responsible for bringing up the card prices. Now, that being said, the market will eventually go down. I mean, whatever goes up will come down. However, I don't know. I believe in cards. I think people appreciate sports cards. Like, you know, I got to be like, if I'm an Artemi Panarin fan, I got a cool card that I want to keep and collect. It's hard to predict. I don't think anybody really knows. I think that he's right that players that don't pan out, they will go down. Some cards are just high. So, you know, study. Over the long term, Legends should pan out. I mean, it's art. It's beautiful art, and there's a lot of emotion attached to it. I don't think it's going to crash then. I think some players just won't pan out. So, but yeah.
See, I fully agree with that, and the way that I kind of view it as part of me is, let me put it this way: the junk wax era, so to speak, was extremely difficult to overcome, right? Extremely difficult, but at the end of the day, we did overcome it, and look at the growth that we're seeing now. I believe that we haven't even seen the highest of highs. I believe that it's still going to get higher. I believe, you know, soccer dipped, but, you know, we got the Champions League coming up on Wednesday, the round of 16, and then you got the Euros, and then you got the World Cup. And when the World Cup happens, it's exactly that, the world watches. So I believe that market's going to go up too. Now, mind you, 2024 is even a couple years after that. Like anything, you could argue that anything's a bubble, but sports cards, so long as we still have collectors and not just flippers, I think we'll be okay. That's just me.
I mean, dude, like our dad had a PSA 5 Gretzky. He almost sold it for $500, and he couldn't let it go. Now it's an O-Pee-Chee PSA 5.
Yep.
Now that card's thousands of dollars. So even if the market went down, that card will eventually go up, right? So you got to position yourself over the long term with good cards, and then, you know, some players will make it, some won't.
Exactly. It's so tough to say like that. I feel like it's such a loaded question.
I don't think anybody knows. Nobody really knows. But there is manipulation. There are a lot of cards of new players, and they're not all going to make it. Again, though, I still believe I love Zion regardless. So I believe in him as a player. At least from what I see right now, I think he's going to have a good career. Let's hope so. But if he sucks, if he doesn't perform well, if he gets hurt, they'll go down, and it makes sense. So And I even said his prices are high now. Like, it's not my fault the Prisms start out at $70, went up to 1,000 right away. Like,
Yeah.
I have one Prism of Zion, so the hoops
Same.
were undervalued, and they still are. So
Yeah. I want to highlight this comment as well from Kendall. He said, "Pop reports will
I
matter."
can't look at that tiger picture anymore.
Yeah, the Tiger
That's so
picture.
funny. I love it.
But yeah, he said pop reports will matter as market matures. I'm now avoiding high volume base cards and products with retail variants. Listen, I agree with that. I really do. I think pop reports do matter, except for maybe two players that come to mind, and that's my guy and your guy, Mitch, Luca and Zion. I feel if Luca does become a top 10 player all time, that's a major if. A major if.
Even for him.
If he becomes a top 10 player all time, who's to say that card shouldn't rise in value, right? If that happens. Now, that print run is high, right? But I said this time and time and time again. America's got 400 million population. Not to mention, Australia is growing in terms of card collecting. Canada is growing where we're from. Great Britain. There's so many millions of people who are going to want a Luka Doncic card. And I think with 15,000 available, the supply and demand doesn't exactly say, oh, well, these Lukas are worthless.
Okay, but the question is,
someone like Jason Tatum, don't get me wrong, Jason Tatum's a phenomenal player. But what's going to happen is one day when Jason Tatum becomes a Paul Pierce, and nobody's really speaking about Paul Pierce to this day, right? Paul Pierce was a great player. He's a Hall of Famer. No one's really speaking of him. And when that happens, someone's going to be left with a $2,000 card. That's basically worth $150. That's what I believe will happen with those high Prism pop reports. But if Luka becomes a top 10 player, I don't think it'll matter. But 95% of players in that Prism class, I think, are currently overvalued. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, there's only so many that kind of pop out to me. There's I don't know. It's really weird because like a way to separate even legendary players is going to be the grade that you get. But like even for Luka, there's so many different brands for Luka.
Yeah.
Like if you're just talking about Luka Prism, but dude, he's probably got at least 15 to 200 other rookie cards.
He's got like 85. Yeah.
And then you have parallels of the parallels, like in the numbers, like I think it comes down to getting the right card of the right player and getting good condition cards if you're gonna hold long, because the other ones probably won't make it, right? Like nobody talks about Wayne Gretzky's 5th year card, or like a Wayne Gretzky 5th year card is almost as equivalent to a Luka like hoops, because he's got that many rookies where, you know what I mean? He's got so many rookies. The way they're printed is completely different. So you could almost say a Gretzky 2nd year card is like a Luka Select or something,
Yeah, certainly.
Because he only has one rookie. It's not like today. Obviously the tops, but
yeah, and that's the crazy thing. Like there are so many rookies, and at the end of the day, the market's going to decide which rookies are which. And that's why I want to bring up, shout out, absolutely love this guy on Instagram.
Who?
Montreal Sports Cards. He's waiting for the market to crash to buy all the McDavids.
Dude, before I go on the rant though, dude, I had a McDavid in my hands, right here in my hands. And it wasn't going to grade a 10, so I'm like, I'm going to flip it. Bought it for 500, sold for 850, and dude, it would have graded a 9.
I warned you. I warned you not to do it, but a profit is a profit. So
and I have no good Lukas. I'm sad.
With that being said, too, it is interesting how the market kind of decides which card is worth a lot, because when you look at basketball, when you look at football, Prism, right? Everyone thinks Prism. Nobody who knows what they're doing in the hockey card market is investing in Prism hockey. They exist. Prism hockey cards are ugly, and they exist.
Yeah.
But what I'm seeing is the prices of those cards are starting to go up because, so many new people are coming into this, and what they keep on hearing is, oh, Prism's the way to go. Prism's the way to go. And then they're also hearing, hey, you know what? Hockey's on the rise. So Prism hockey cards are, I hate to say it, but like they're going up in value. I wouldn't recommend anyone buying them though. I really wouldn't. What do you think?
No, I mean, dude, the young gun's a young gun, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how many McDavids there are, but dude, McDavid is the one guy. You and I, if we ever talk hockey and top 2 players in the world, McDavid's on that list, right? Like we love McDavid. I don't have one, by the way. I have 0 McDavids. I do have one Austin Matthews though, really nice one. I think McDavid and Matthews are really good. They are like. They're good players, great players. They're all-stars, and then there's Matthews and McDavid. That's how I feel.
I agree, too. When it's all said and done, I think Austin Matthews has the ability. Now, whether or not he gets there just because of how the game has evolved, but I think he has the true ability to notch 50 goals, 4 or 5 times in his career. I think he's got the ability to go down as one of the greatest modern-day goal scorers. And he's showing that. Like, he's so incredible. And he's in the largest hockey market in the world. Yeah. Like, by far, the largest hockey market. And I think, $400 raw ungraded is kind of insane to spend for that. But also, it's undervalued. $400 for Austin Matthews?
Dude, highlight Nick's question there.
Nick's question. Let's see.
Same thing we're kind of talking about. And dude,
one here,
dude, a great player. Like even for me, I don't watch a lot of hockey, but I at least played and I used to watch I've actually seen Lemieux play in real life before in Toronto. That was like when he came out of retirement. So like I've seen good players play in like where we live, like our OHL system, they're really good. Like we had like Jason Spezza come out of there. A lot of good players. But Austin Matthews, when you watch him play, he's different than everybody else on his team.
Yeah,
he has more chances because he's faster. He's different, man. He shoots the puck really well. He's got that poise, man. I think Matthews is really good, and I wish I bought more because I remember he was only a couple $100, and I didn't pull the trigger. I messed up like McGregor. So
and that's just it, right? At the end of the day, people are viewing it as, oh, well, it's $100. It's the time to buy. And if there's one thing that I want to make clear to everyone watching right now or even watching later is just because a card is expensive doesn't mean it's not undervalued. Let me say that again. Just because a card is expensive does not mean it can't be undervalued. Because, what was it? It was basically April, so almost a year ago. Connor McDavid cards were $400 raw, and I went on a podcast with Mike DiStefano, and I said, you know what, this is my favorite buy in hockey right now. Check out that card; it's about $1,200 raw. So you would have 3x your money, more. And this is a guy who has struggled in the playoffs. He has, and again, he very well likely may never win a Stanley Cup. But if he does, that's a $2,000 card raw easily all day. So I just want to put that out there.
But it's very tricky now though, because we've had conversations about this, and my whole thought process too is that we're obviously at a high in the market for sure. Things are newer, but I mean, dude, grading's more common now. Cards are a little bit different, but like the thing is about like current prices of like, you have McDavid and Matthews specifically. They are pretty expensive for how old they are, and that's kind of new. Kind of like Luka. Luka's 20 years old. Like his cards are thousands, so it's a risk too, right? You have to remember that.
Age definitely matters because and I'll be talking about this later on in the podcast with Mike DiStefano, but I view Johnny Gaudreau as a really, really, really good hockey player. But the fact that he's not in a good market, and the fact that he's 27, which still isn't that old, but the fact that those two things do align, his card prices are only around $40 US right now, raw. Meanwhile, you got a guy like Matt Barzell who, at the tender age of 23, 24, his card prices are like 60 to 75. So, age does play. Let's get to this question on screen though, Mitch. The guy said he likes when we were talking about some vintage card prices. He picked up a Hasek for $50. Using vintage as long-term stocks because they generally go up over time. That's interesting. I actually recently sold a Dominic Hasek PSA 9, and the only reason why I sold it, the profit was good. I plan on picking up another one because I personally believe Dominic Hasek is the greatest goalie of all time. The stats are there. Proof is in the pudding. But in terms of long-term, Mitch, like you were on the vintage train for a long time.
Yeah, I wouldn't say vintage for hockey, but I was getting Kobe Bryant a while ago. Shaq, he's probably one of the – you could argue Shaq is like – he's on TV all the time. Who doesn't like Shaq, right?
Yeah.
Like, dude, Shaq is a big-time personality and celebrity right now. Like vintage, I don't think you can really go wrong with getting – like, think of the name. Write down the name on a board. Legit, people don't do this. It shocks me. Like, I've been doing this for 2.5 years now, steadily. I write down all the players, and then I'll have 30 players. I'll shrink it to 10. Then I'll take the 10, and I'll literally go to my top 2, and that's who I'm going to be getting. And it has to make sense. It has to feel right. Shaq, Kobe, those were the two obvious ones because I just projected things a year from now, and that's where we're at now. And those are the two hottest cards in the world that have been going up. So, and that's not even us talk. We don't even talk about it that much. So
me and you, we talk about it like we are now, just not live. We'll call each other up. We were both saying why is Shaquille O'Neal $20? He was like $20 at the time, not even.
Yeah.
And I look at that. I view Shaq I put Shaq in my top 5 all time because he was that dominant. And who he is off the court. He's a personality. Most people love Shaq.
But that's why, because he's not that old. He's not Babe Ruth. He's not Jackie Robinson. These are guys who played when we were growing up. So even Michael Jordan, the reason Jordan's popping off is because he's supposed to. The other guy who I didn't get because I don't invest in football, Tom Brady. I'm like, dude, people are going to look – this was even before the Super Bowl. People are going to look back at Brady and go, dude, this guy has a crazy story. Nobody he wasn't supposed to be Tom Brady. He wasn't, he
was drafted 199.
Resumes, he was drafted way late and all that. I think you have to look at the players now and think, hey, are people going to look back and go, dude, remember that guy? And they'll be able to, whether it be a documentary in the future, just looking back, people are going to have this thing. And that's why I think Mike Tyson, I'm telling you, man, when there's more attention on him, he is legit, not just in terms of what he was the youngest heavyweight of all time. Yeah. Blew all of his money with all of his life experiences and the way he talks about it today. I think when you look back on Mike Tyson, it's going to be huge, So think about that. I think that's important, right?
Here's another one I want to get to. Okay.
Steph Curry. Change your picture. Go. I'm laughing. I can't even focus.
Right, but he's bringing up a lot of great points. I was actually driving home from pond hockey yesterday, and on 97 won the ticket. Okay. They were talking about Steph Curry. Okay, here's what they were saying. In NBA history, who has the most games with 7 or more made three-pointers? It's Steph Curry. Did you know he's done it 250-plus times?
Yeah, I watched.
And then he's made 8 3-points. I think he did 150 times, and the list goes on and on and on. When we talk about the single greatest shooter of all time, no disrespect to Reggie Miller, no disrespect to Ray Allen, Steph Curry is doing GOAT stuff right now. Right now.
Oh, I agree.
And he is slept price-wise. I don't know how high it will get. I don't know. It's tough to say whether or not it's overvalued or undervalued. I just don't think we speak about the man enough. And because we don't speak about his achievements enough, that might lean me towards undervalued. But I don't know. I'd have to look at card prices closer.
Yeah, he's got a master class. Like that guy can shoot a ball.
Yeah.
And I don't know how good his dad played in the NBA, right?
Yeah, his dad was great, but I mean, he shattered all those records. Like Steph is incredible. It's the release and the way he does it. You know, he has won MVP, not just. I mean, when you think about like Ray Allen, right? Like Ray Allen, arguably speaking, again, you know, you can put him in the top 3, but Ray Allen wasn't like near winning MVP awards. He wasn't. Steph Curry does a lot. So
Curry can dribble and stuff. He's pretty good. He's really good, man. Like, I think Curry definitely. I don't know his prices, but in terms of the name and people looking back at him, definitely, dude. Curry's a really. I don't know if I could think of a better shooter. Like, I don't know. And again, I'm not a basketball expert by any means at all. So, but when guys like that start shooting the ball and you like, what was it? His first game back, he got that many, like he scored like 40, 50 points. Yeah. He's good, man. He's just a good shooter. Like, I don't know. He's really good. Soccer cards, time to buy.
Right. So this is our next little segment. I wanted to bring this up because
we're producing today. So guys, somebody send Tim Hortons an email. We're looking for a sponsorship because Timmy's, we love them. They're Canadian and they have a lot of money. So we want to work with them. So,
okay. So in all honesty, soccer cards, I feel like me personally, like I've received a lot of heat because I did mention that the soccer cards, right? I mentioned the Mbappe, and then the Mbappe went up a lot. I mentioned Erling Haaland brought,
that video. Bird's like, I'm going to do a good soccer video. And I'm like, Bird, I'm going to film the heck out of it and edit it. And then we're like, dude, that's got a lot of views. And then, I wish I knew.
Right. So basically what happened was, you know, a few people were like, oh, you know, Prism Soccer, it's going to crash. And it did. But here's the thing. Had you sold at the right time, you would have made a lot of money. Now, regardless of the crash, because that's not what we're here for, I believe soccer cards, much like hockey cards that kind of received a boom, I personally believe soccer's next. The Champions League, right? Literally Wednesday, we got some amazing players in the Champions League. Erling Haaland is phenomenal. 20-year-old. He's 20, dude, and he's got like 28 goals within 29 matches. You know, he has scored multiple times in the Champions League. And there are a lot of rumors that he's eventually going to leave Borussia Dortmund to play for a larger club. But then after that, you're going to have the Euros, and a lot of people are going to start watching soccer again. And then Qatar, the World Cup 2022. It's realistically not that far away. So I believe the time to buy these cards are now. Like, some of these cards, dude, are like more than half off. Like, that's how I'm viewing it. Soccer it's next to pop off, in my opinion. It's, you know, I'm not even going to realistically say like which cards I've been picking up, because that's going to be a video down the road. But what I will say is, like, just look at some of these things that these young players who are like 22 and under are doing, and look at where their card prices were, right? So we know that the excitement can get to those Prism level highs. I'm not saying that it ever will get that high again, but we know that it's a possibility that it can get there. So even if it reaches like 50% of that, listen, you're going to do very well on soccer cards.
And again, you want to get the right players, get the good players. Yep. Like, for me, I wouldn't, like, I'm not going to recommend any players because I'd be lying. I don't know really much about soccer. I do know Mbappe is good, and I know some of the other guys that are just big names. People already know them. But I was going to say, do you believe to get soccer to flip right now, or are there opportunities to get good long-term cards?
Oh, I'm sorry, Mitch. I was reading a comment. Can you repeat that?
Do you believe soccer, it's a good idea to flip, to get like new rookies or players to flip them? Or do you see the potential in, the Messis, the bigger time players to get them long.
Big name players, because the entire soccer market kind of took a dip. So now you can pick up Messi and you can pick up Ronaldo. You can even pick up Pele, who I consider the second greatest. It's arguably speaking, I do consider Pele as probably the second greatest behind Messi. But regardless, you can pick up all those big names right now for a discount, so to speak. And what I would recommend doing with some of the hotter names right now is try to work your way up to those cards, or maybe, try to work your way up into getting, a Matthews, a McDavid, those type of players. So it really depends on the investment strategy that you have.
I will put up Mitch's question there. Do you enjoy soccer? Or is this an investment gig? For me personally, if I buy soccer, it's because I talked to Bird about it and I want to make money on soccer. But Bird loves, in general, Bird watches every sport and he's obsessed. Yeah. And we're both collectors. Like when I talk about Zion, I've sold some Zion, but I have 90% of my Zion cards. That Mike Tyson I graded, I'm keeping. Dude, I keep all my cards. I love cards, man. I talk about that more too, because dude, we're not interested in pumping and dumping players or cards. If we talk about a player specifically,
we believe in them.
We believe in it. Like when I talk about Zion, which I was kind of right in the first time, I think he's a great player, and he is. Like he scored 36 yesterday, although Luka got 46. So screw off.
That was a very high scoring game with not much.
I didn't watch it, but I get notified whenever Zion's got new paparazzi photos or whatever.
I think it was like 147 to 130. There's like 270 plus points either way.
Yeah.
So not much defense there. But for me to answer this soccer question, I'm a gunner. Thierry Henry was the reason why I loved Arsenal. I remember playing on my Nintendo DS, soccer games and things like that. And I've liked soccer. I'll be the first to admit it's really boring to sit down for an hour and a half plus and watch a match. But I do it anyway. I really do. Sometimes if I can't sleep and, if I'm up at 6 a.m., I'll put on an Arsenal game if it's on. I'll watch. But I'm really excited by the young talent. Like, I'll be the first to say Erling Haaland, while he might not be the next Messi, because it's just, we're always hearing, oh, this guy's the next whatever, this guy's the next whatever. And I think that's a bit ridiculous, but Erling Haaland has literally done, record-breaking stuff, scoring 28 goals in 29 matches. He's, beating Mbappe in Champions Leagues and things like that. And he's incredible. So I do watch soccer.
Yeah. I did watch a bit of soccer, like when Mbappe was playing, but right now there's no soccer to watch, at least not when it's snowing out here. So,
okay, which young guns exciting to you for Series 2? I'd love to get Stützle or Kaprizov. That's actually interesting later on today. So I highly encourage everyone watching to go check out the monthly podcast that the Hockey Card Guru and myself do. The Hockey Card Guru being Mike DiStefano. We're actually going to speak about our top 5 Series 2 young guns that we would recommend at least looking into. So that will be released later. And that's the Locked On NHL podcast. So
that's a cool podcast.
Yeah, it's great. It's a podcast specifically about hockey cards. So Nick, if you are interested in hockey cards and investing in those. With that being said, Stützle and Kaprizov, I don't think it's a surprise. They're both going to make the top 5 list. Now, in which order, I won't give away, like where they rank 1 to 5. Mitch, you never texted me about hockey, but you actually texted me about Stützle the other day.
I did. I can never say his name, but I'm like, Bird, this Stützle guy, like I saw him on, because, in the morning, 8, 9, 10 a.m., whenever the heck I wake up, all breakfast, and I did that every day growing up. We would watch TSN to see the cool hockey highlights. I used to watch Ovechkin score every time. Like, I'm a huge Ovechkin fan too. But yeah, Stützle, back dude's good. He's good, man. I'm a big fan of him. I'm gonna pick up some of his cards. I don't know how many, probably 2 or 3. But love that guy.
one thing that I will say is I think now certainly right now Kaprizov is playing better than Stützle. Not by much, but by enough. But you got to think of Canadian market versus, mind you, Minnesota market's big too. It really is. But the Canadian market is much larger, I would argue. Like Minnesota is big in America, but
dude, I went to a house party in Minnesota when I lived in the States. This guy had on like I don't know, it was like their throwback jersey. Dude, a lot of Minnesotans, man, they love that. And they sound Canadian. If you're from Minnesota, you legit sound Canadian. So that's probably why.
yeah. So I mean, at the end of the day, Kaprizov was one of the better players in the KHL over in Russia, and so he's kind of proven himself to an extent there. And then obviously coming to the NHL, he's been great too. When it's all said and done, though, I really like Tim Stützle.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's another question that I'm definitely able to answer because I'm an Arsenal gunner. What are your thoughts on Bukayo Saka, new younger player? Bukayo Saka, as I believe he should have received more playing time even last year. I don't think Mitch knows who this guy is at all, but I'll just speak to him quickly.
I have no idea. Now I do.
He has a sticker card, an EPL sticker card. That would be the sticker that I would recommend if you're looking into investing into Bukayo Saka. If he becomes more attacking, like a guy like Alphonso Davies, that card could very well go up. The only thing that I don't like about it, and again, I'm an Arsenal Gunner fan, is we stink. Like, we suck. Like, we are so bad as a football club. So unless Saka gets moved, I think you're going to see like another Mesut Ozil situation where nobody's really talking about him. And we'll see what happens. But for the price right now, I would lean towards the price is right.
And Bird, we talk about like future episodes we're going to try to do. I believe Bird's working on top 5 soccer right now.
Top 3. I'm going with top 3, but
we never do top 3. The heck?
All right.
All right, top 3. We can do top 3. Whatever you do. Like I said, guys, like Bird controls all the soccer stuff. So I could do a soccer episode, but I'd be winging it way too much. So I can't even pronounce their names, dude. Halan? I thought it was Halas.
No, Erling Haaland.
Dude, it's bad, man. Yeah.
Here's another interesting topic, Mitch.
Why are people talking about this HGA garbage?
HGA Grading. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, there's a new grading company in town by the name of HGA Grading. Long story short, the way that this guy invented the company, I think he's got like 5 kids, and he's a lover of the hobby, and he made a grading company, but the way that they do things that I personally like, I'll just speak about some of the pros. Mitch is obviously going to speak about the cons. First and foremost,
I didn't know there were pros.
First and foremost, they don't grade the cards. They have an algorithm through artificial intelligence, right? So they've basically put in a bunch of PSA 10 cards, right? They've cracked them, put in PSA 10 cards, and now they've built an algorithm. So they know what a PSA 10, PSA 9, et cetera, should be. Right? They put in thousands of those cards, and the algorithm came up with exactly that. Pardon me, the AI came up with an algorithm. So that's how they grade the cards. That's one thing that I love. It takes away the human element of error, takes away bias, it takes away so much. The second thing that I love is on their website, they guarantee service time. So you might be asking yourself, oh, well, it's another SGC situation where they guarantee service time. But what they do right is they only allow 1,000 submissions, right? And what the CEO was saying was that if we have the capability of doing 3,000, we're only going to allow 1,000 because that guarantees the service time. Now, if they miss the service time, not only will they slab the card for you, you get all your money back for free. And that's a major, that is an incredible promise. Incredible. Not one that I would ever do as a business, because you're held liable for that. But I like that. And then the third thing that I'm kind of iffy on is they allow you to customize the slab and how it looks. So you have the option of just the plain gray and white, and then you also have the option to match the color of the card. So let's say you have a red, white, and blue wave card. You can use those color palettes. And then finally, you have the option of matching the uniform to the grading card. So I think that's kind of cool. It's up and coming, but I think the biggest thing here, Mitch, is take away the element of human error and human bias. I really like the algorithm idea.
Yeah, I do. I did see, and I'm looking at the card right now. If anybody else wants to go on Google, there's this card of what's his name? Hilaire. It's a football player, and it says Patrick Mahomes too. So when they graded the card, they put the wrong name on the card. I don't know if you saw that one, and I don't know if that's legit or not. If it's just fake. But there's an article about it on Reddit, and it's somebody got their HGA card graded, and it says Patrick Mahomes, but it's not. So I don't know. I think I like some of it. I think it's kind of artistic, and I love the colors. I think cards should be more splashy, but it's really about the grading in the look. I think it looks a little. I don't know. I think it looks a little childish, but I mean, I don't know. I've never graded them, so I don't know. But as of right now, I'm still I'm in love with the new PSA slabs. And let's get on my rant because I want to talk about it anyways.
All right, here we go.
I got a quick rant. I got a quick rant. It's not going to be a top loader rant, which those things suck. Okay, so oh my goodness, I don't even want to talk about this. By the way, I'm impressed with PSA's new slabs. If you don't know, I graded some Pokemon, and I'm still waiting on some Fernando Tatis Jr. I bought this Spanish Charizard in order to flip. So I got it back recently, and I put it on eBay. So I put this card on eBay, $500 minimum, and this guy is bidding, and I'm like, wow, there's a little bidding war. The guy messages me after and goes, hey, bro, I need you to cancel the order. I'm like, dude, why? Like, I've been waiting a week. And he's like, dude, he legit sent me that he felt like he was in the heat of the moment, and he just reacted with the minute left. And I'm like, dude, like, what's going on? So then I hit my max on what I'm able to sell on eBay. So I had to live chat eBay for like an hour, and now I have this card being sold. So if somebody's looking for a PSA 6, it is Spanish. I am selling a freaking Charizard. But yeah, man, this guy screwed me over. He's bidding on my card, doesn't even know what he's bidding on. So don't bid on cards you don't know what it is.
Yeah, there are so many reasons why I don't use eBay anymore.
Bird hates eBay now. I feel like you hate eBay.
So I have a horror story that happened to me too. I had a Braden Point, right? I picked up this Braden Point for $15 last year during the playoffs. For those of you who don't know, Braden Point was, arguably the best goal scorer on the eventual Stanley champion, Tampa Bay Lightning. I picked up and I was going to flip it because they just won the Stanley Cup. The winning bidder waited a week to not pay, and then he wanted to cancel. Well, what happens after the Stanley Cup? The price just drops, and it drops, and it drops. So, I don't know. eBay needs to do more to protect buyers. More to protect the sellers, because it seems like all they do is protect the seller. It's an issue. It's a big issue. Where on ComC, however, Mitch, none of the liability really comes on me. If somebody hits that buy it now button, I get paid right away. So.
Yeah. Well, me too. Yeah. The only thing about ComC is that it's kind of sporadic how things sell, right? Like eBay, I feel like there's a lot of really good attention. You can sell things pretty easily. But yeah, that guy pissed me off about the Charizard. So I'll let it go, because what am I going to do, right? The guy wants to cancel an order. I'm not going to wait for him to pay if he doesn't want to pay. So yeah, it's fine. Just don't bid on cards if you didn't read the listing. It said Spanish. So now I'm relisting the card, and I bet you people are looking at it and they're like, is he trying to sell the same card twice? I am not. The guy canceled the order. He told me he wanted to cancel the order because he didn't. He was in the heat of the moment. How am I supposed to know this buyer's in the heat of the moment? I have no idea. Unbelievable, this guy. So, anyways, new question. I sell very little, 15 cards.
Oh, I can get to that too.
Yeah, UFC cards. Oh, dude, we're gonna talk about that.
Okay, so we'll go to UFC then. All right, there we go.
Their site is ancient. Bird, maybe you should talk about that first.
Right here?
Yeah. We talked about this. I said the exact same thing.
Our phone. Okay.
Good job, boys. We're men. I'm just kidding.
So
Bird the boy.
I've said this numerous times. I think ComC's biggest downfall, and yes, they also charge that 10%, cash out fee, but probably their biggest cash out, or pardon me, probably their biggest issue right now is the aesthetics of the website. It doesn't look the greatest. It doesn't. But if you can get by the aesthetic look of how ComC's website looks, it's one of the best platforms, I'm telling you, because when I send them my cards, Mitch, they actually list it on eBay too. So I'm not sure if you've even seen, you can go through your sales history and it'll tell you all the sales that have been done on eBay, which is super cool, right? So it's like now, okay, cool. These are being posted on 2 platforms, which is super cool. I do agree that they need an app. I was actually in contact with one of their, one of their managers, developers, things like that. That they are working out on an app, and they've also been doing a lot of hiring recently, and they're actually moving to another building to help with the shipping speed. So because of COVID, they're actually they bought a new building, and they're going to be shipping out of that building. That's going to be its own separate thing because of COVID and cohorts and things like that. So for those of you who like to purchase on ComC and then have them ship your cards, you're actually going to get them much quicker now.
Did you ask them about a sponsor?
We'll see about that.
Yeah, we should. I will say that too. As much as it looks very old, the website, it's very functional. And once you start using ComC, because dude, I have a funny story, by the way. So I call Bird and I'm like, Bird, we're gonna do an episode on our top 10 collection cards. And I'm like, Bird, just bring 10 cards, right? And Bird, of course, started moving cards to ComC. So Bird's like, oh, bro, I don't have 10 cards. I'm going digital. I'm like, Bird, quit playing jokes. He's like, no, dude, I don't have 10 cards. I'm like, Bird, bring 10 cards to the studio. He's like, no, man, I'm all digital. I'm like, what? This guy sold. This guy's a card investor and collector. He has no cards. And legit, Bird shipped all of his cards to ComC. And I'm like, ComC must be legit. So I'm on ComC now. I got 300 cards listed, and it's kind of cool. I sold in Acuna some, cards that I just didn't really know what to do with. So I'm impressed. I think, yes, they should update the look of their site because it will bring more people on. And once I get them in there, people will like it. ComC, I'm very impressed. Good for you.
It's the perfect thing for, for example, when we buy, NBA cards or whatever it might be, and when you have a decent card, but it's not really worth grading, it's not worth your time to post on eBay and then get the fees, and, like you said, buyers cancel. It's a perfect thing to just ship off, 100, 200 plus cards off to ComC. They will list them all for you. And it's weird. There are some cards where I'm like, man, this card's not moving. And then I wake up the next day and it's like, cool, someone bought it or someone sent me an offer. So, it is technically a bit more slow moving, but then there's other times where things just sell. So it really depends. I mean, I've noticed when you have a hot player, those things sell. Dude, I get people wanting to buy my Bowen Byram card on the daily. I get multiple offers for it. And what that tells me is, hey, you know what? A lot of people want this, so I just bumped up the price.
Yeah. Bird, you should answer Pierre Luke's question. I think you could answer that better than me.
So how much does it cost to ship your cards? If you're talking about to ComC, it's never cost me more than $20. But again, right, we're in Canada, and Canadian shipping is always going to be much more. Now, with that being said, they actually have the PO box where you don't actually have to ship from Canada to the States. But what I do is, I'll get like a 200 count box or 300 count, depending on how many cards I'm sending. And then I do a box within a box, and I ship it off. It's never cost me more than $20 with shipping or with tracking included. So it's not bad, because when you think about it, when you're getting 200 cards listed, and by the way, cross-listed, because they also post them on their eBay, right? So if you send 200 cards at 35 cents a piece, it's not that bad. Plus, 15 to $20 for shipping. I don't really have an issue with it, because these are cards that, mind you, like, those $3-4 cards, that it's just not worth your time to go through 200 plus cards individually, snapping a picture on your phone, and then reading the listing. So if you're someone like Mitch, who just, is constantly working and doesn't have the time to do that, I recommend websites like ComC. However, if most of your cards are newer, I'll be the first to tell you, Star Stock.
Yeah, like that's a good response, because I think there's room for, like, I was buying just tons of cards, and I had like little ones that I'm like, I'll flip them. But then you're thinking about it all day and every day.
Yeah.
I thought I would just send like some of my weaker cards, more inserts to ComC, but now I'm getting to the point where I'm like, dude, I might even send some better cards or graded ones, because
they do
about this all the time. And that's probably why I've been moving into bigger cards. Because, dude, no joke, like when you start to have thousands of cards, you can't think about that all day. It's draining.
And
you can't worry about the price fluctuation of, for example, if you own like 100 different stocks, you're stressed all the time, man. You can't deal with that. You can't deal with, thousands of cards every minute.
And personally, that's what I've been doing, right? I sent in all those cards, and I've been flipping them, right? I keep money in my account. Then I see a big purchase. So, for example, I just picked up a Ronald Acuna PSA 9, right? But I flipped a bunch of cards that were taking up so much space, and then it's like, now I got an Acuna. Those are the type of cards that I want to acquire. The Acuna PSA 10s, the more higher end PSA 10s, PSA 9s, things like that. So that's what I was able to do. And on the other side, if I go to flip these cards, so I flipped like a bunch of those cards to work my way up to the Acuna. But let's say I were to sell those on eBay. Well, now I have to get the cards, I have to package them, I have to ship them out, and it takes time. And like, people want their stuff shipped out right away, right? They don't want to wait a week for it. And like, if you're the person who has so many sales that you only dedicate one day of the week to shipping, then people got to wait a week, and then it takes time. And I'm not about that. I love ComC for so many reasons, and I'm not paid to say any of this. We really aren't. I just, Mitch, I mean, you could even tell them we've been reached out by multiple different companies and platforms who, wanted us to kind of, not necessarily, sponsor any videos or things like that, but they wanted us to speak about them. But at the end of the day, I didn't feel comfortable speaking about a platform or a product or a service that I didn't think was good. So ultimately, we just didn't make a video on it.
Yeah, like I feel like now I could definitely do a ComC video, but that's because I've shipped at least 2 times there now. One thing I will say about ComC too is, like you said, because everything is so centralized. So if you guys don't know, all the cards are pretty much kept in a couple different warehouses. So when you do transactions, it's kind of cool. It's very easy to buy and sell. It's very quick, very quick, and it makes it very interesting. Like I woke up, I haven't sold anything today, but like Bird said, you'll wake up one day and you'll look and you made $40-50 US. Yeah. And that's for cards that, you weren't even thinking about.
Yes.
And I feel like it's going to be a season thing. Like even for me right now, I'm not selling my Tatis cards because, as you all know, I love Tatis and he's a guy that I believe in. So I have cards in ComC, but I'm not selling them until baseball starts.
Right.
Even if I do, I believe in Tatis. I think he's a big time player. But yeah, ComC, I'm really loving, and the more I use it, I like it a lot, dude. They have a lot of hockey in it too. So next,
for me, right? For me, I'm thinking of playoff flips. So for example, last
Bird.
year when Randy Arozarena was
Yeah.
the flip, right? Instead of going through all your boxes and finding them, all you have to do on ComC, you go to your inventory manager and you type in Arozarena, boom, all your Randy Arozarena cards will pop up. And then you can flip them rather than going through your boxes and boxes and A, hoping that you find one, B, hoping that it's in good condition, and C, then you got to go out and list that card. Maybe it takes you too long to list it and you missed the boat. If you're just talking about a player who gets hot at the right time, click of a button, you can change the price.
Well, one thing Bird, put up a Nick's question there, but I will say too, ComC is cool because whereas Bird will literally buy a card before they play a game in flip because he literally watches way more sports than I do all across the board and more games. Whereas for me, I'm like, I'll buy a player and I know he'll go up in a month or two or like a year from now.
Mhm.
I don't flip like within a week or so unless I'm going to buy it, grade it, and sell it. So I think ComC has a lot of potential for those of you that have a wider spectrum. So, you know, if you're looking to buy a card and just hold it there or buy it to ship it back to you, it's really cool, very versatile. And yeah, in terms of Nick's question here,
Great question.
how fast does hockey move on ComC? I just sold one of my cards sold on ComC yesterday, and 3 days ago I sold 2 other Young Guns.
Nick,
I'm impressed.
Right. Nick, I will tell you personally, hockey is, for me, it's moving quicker than football and basketball cards. For me personally, hockey is moving really quickly. There's surprisingly a lot of hockey fans on there. An example, Nikolai Ehlers, you know, but that's what I'm doing. I'm both buying and flipping Nikolai Ehlers because when he was $5, I was selling him, and then I was rebuying, and then I was selling him when he'd go up, you know, making incremental profits. But at the end of the day, those profits add up. And I was doing that for about a week straight. So you have to think, you know, those are cards that I was selling multiple times of. And it's not just Nick Ehlers, it's other guys. You know, I was flipping Brock Besser, Johnny Gaudreau, things like that. So hockey cards, I'm telling you on ComC, they sell. And it's not just a modern. Like I mentioned, you know, that the PSA 9 Dom Hasek. I was flipping that as well. So to answer your question, hockey cards, they flip very well. And what I also noticed, and I haven't even told Mitch this yet, I also, you know, I'm a man of science and I like to test things. So actually,
science. What happened to Bird, guys?
Science. I sent them some cards to list on their eBay auction. Okay, I sent them high end, medium, and low end. And again, this was just to see how it would go. And I knew that I might lose out on some profits. I didn't lose money, period, but some cards did sell lower from what they would. But what I noticed is all hockey sold much higher than I expected, significantly higher. Okay. My Zion Williamson, it actually sold for less than what it's worth. I made a profit, but it sold for less than what it should go for right now. My Drew Brees card sold for about $30 less than it should have. I was very ticked off with that. But again, I made a profit. But all the hockey sold for more. For example, I sold a Capo Caco. You know, I ended up getting like $40 for it. It's not worth $40, but I'll gladly take the $40. And all they charged me was $3.50 to list. That's it. One-time fee. So, yeah, I was very happy.
Maybe take Pierre's last question there about shipping. When I shipped, I did one big shipment of 400 cards almost, probably like a month and a half ago. In it processed within a month. I had all my cards up there. Yeah. So that's shipping from Ontario to their warehouse in Canada. So I don't know. It was pretty quick for me. How about you, Bird? I don't know if you have thoughts on that.
They have not once missed a deadline on a single card for me, not once.
Hmm.
And again, kind of just speaking to their HR manager and things like that. They're hiring a lot. They understand that some people are waiting a longer time to have their cards included. So I'm not sure. Maybe the way to go is to actually send to the Canadian warehouse and not in Washington. But from my perspective, they've never missed a deadline, not once.
I think it depends on the process. It definitely depends on the service you use, because you can do 30-day and then do express or whatever. I think it has to do with how many cards you send them and how quick. I did the regular stuff and it was quick.
Yeah.
And they kind of did it sporadically. They added my cards kind of at weird times and I had to list them, but I've been enjoying it. ComC is the one thing that I didn't give enough credit for. When people told me about ComC, I'm like, oh, they're just kind of little sales, they're whatever. But it's kind of exciting because, every day you have hundreds of cards that are currently listed and you never know when people are going to buy and sell.
Yep.
I'm liking ComC. I bought stuff on ComC. Like another thing we need to talk about, these Marvel cards.
Yeah.
I bought a couple Spiderman cards. Now they've gone up quite a bit. And I'm like, I should have bought more. I just bought some cool cards I like, so.
Yeah, every now and then I'll find cards that are just extremely undervalued, such as some soccer cards that I was picking up, and there'll be a video on that later on. But again, those are just cards that are just sitting in my basement that I don't think of, and it would be way too much of a hassle to sell. Mind you, I didn't sell everything. Cards that are worth a penny, I actually just donate those to local charities and things like that. And that's another thing too. You can donate cards on ComC to charity. The only thing is they'll still, for example, if you have a card that's costing a penny, well, they're actually going to charge you the 35 cents processing fee, and then you donate it. So maybe that's not the way to go. Just donate them to a local charity. But where was I getting at? The point being, ComC has allowed me to work my way up to purchase cards that I wouldn't have the money to afford any other way. And there's no surprise fees, meaning at the end of the month, eBay doesn't be like, hey, you owe us this much money. And I hated that because I didn't want to keep up track with that. I didn't want to always have to remind myself, keep 20% of profits or whatever in my PayPal account because eBay is going to take it out. I didn't like that. They take away the fees right away. So you know how much money you make. And it's so, dude, if I see that someone posted a card for sale and it's extremely undervalued, I can hit buy it now right away. And I have possession of it. I don't have to wait for that card to ship to me, which is super cool. This is the ultimate stock game for sports cards.
I like ComC because it's an alternative for what I'm doing. It's another way of playing with the sports cards. To answer Nick's last question, I think you should give ComC a shot. I talked Kevin into it, and Kevin's got 300, 400, 500 cards that he already shipped. So when Bird talked about it and then he showed me, over time I was like, I should have done this earlier. So I would give it a shot. You are paying up front for them to process, take the photos, and when you do sell and take it out, they have their own fee. But it's another stream that you can build, and it is something you can build. You can acquire cards, you can sell them, you see them visually, and the site's not that bad once you use it. I think ComC is a big time thing that I didn't see before. It's like an Amazon form of a sports card thing online. It's really cool. I'm very impressed with ComC. So,
and well, lastly, another way around. So again, guys, they do have a 10% process or 10% cash out fee, meaning if you're trying to take out $100, you'll get 90. Realistically, not too shabby. And then it's 5% sales that they take out as well. So if you sell a card for $100, you'll get credited 95. With that being said, a way around it is to work your way up, right? Sell all your lower end cards, work your way up to, let's say, a bunch of PSA 10s, right? So now let's say in your account all you have is PSA 10s, then you can request a shipment. So they rather than spending $400 to get card shipped, like if you were to go on eBay and then just pay the shipping fee, and it adds up to $400. Well, now they'll just charge you around $30 depending on how many cards you have, and then you get all those PSA 10 cards shipped to you, and then from there you can choose to list them on eBay, sell them in person, whatever you might want to do. And that, because they're PSA 10s, because they're going to be a few $100 cards more than likely, then you can realistically go out and, like I said, sell them in person. Don't pay any fees. So it is another way around it.
Yeah, I feel like Bird's really embraced ComC a lot, because whenever I talk to Bird, he mentions ComC, but Bird's been doing a lot of research. So we're definitely going to be, we talked about it, but we're going to be doing a pretty big ComC episode where Bird's going to like break down, how it works and what you can do with it, because Bird's been doing a lot. And I'm learning it too, because I like it. I think it's criminally. Dude, if we're going to do an over-under, which we filmed an episode, we did our first over-under. I'm editing that tonight or tomorrow. And ComC Bird, underrated for sure.
Criminally undervalued.
Criminally undervalued. It really is, though. Like, I'm looking at my account now, and I'm like, I sold a couple cards,
Do yourself a favor, Mitch. Do yourself a favor, check out the sold listings, and on the far right-hand corner, it'll say either the username. If it's a username, that's who bought it on ComC. But if it says eBay, that indicates that it was actually an eBay sale. And you'll be surprised at how many people actually find your card listings via eBay.
Sold. How do I know it's eBay? Over the item number, or like the?
Here, I'll log into my ComC now, as I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I hit view all sales.
Where at? Like top right, bottom left.
Yeah, I just got to log in here. But with that being said, right, so it'll say purchased by on your sales history.
Oh, I see now. I'm under it.
Right.
Oh, eBay. I got quite a few eBays. Beauty.
Right. So that there's another thing that I was speaking about, right? In terms of, you never know, there's like your cards will get cross-posted on eBay.
Cameron, we talked about HGA. Personally, I think you should stick with PSA in Beckett, but I also don't know if it's going to become a thing or not.
Yeah.
Personally, I don't care about it yet, but Bird seems to think it's kind of cool.
And as I speak of this again, as I just logged into my ComC, yet another person sent me a lowball offer for Bowen Byram. But again, that just tells me that the price is, supply and demand. A lot of people want Bowen Byram cards now. So I'm holding off.
Is it worth paying $75 for PSA Express? Depends on the card. Just look at the numbers. See, math I'm really good at when it comes to like simple numbers, but once you get into like using letters and numbers together, I don't like that. But numbers, simple numbers. I mean, do the math on the card. It depends what you're grading, right? Like, don't grade $100 card and pay $75 to grade it to make $10. Pay $75 if your card's like over $400. Like it just depends on the math.
People do that all the time too. Shout out to Sasha T, because I watch his YouTube channel almost on the daily.
Cool. Yeah.
And he's consistently spending, the 2 to 3 day turnaround time, high end cards, because he knows that, okay, I have $500 profit on this and my window might shorten and things like that. So like, you just don't want to be sitting on money. And that's what he says too. He doesn't want to sit on money. He wants to get the card back. So $75, it's well worth his time.
Yeah, like I did mint grading. We did an episode on it. But even mint grading, I graded a lot of hockey cards. And I did the 30-day. I could have got it way cheaper, significantly cheaper, if I would have done their 90-day service. But hockey is going to be in, like, playoffs might be done by then. So you want to make sure that you time things. Timing's very important too. Express service isn't bad. And I think their minimum went down on PSA to $50 or something.
Yeah.
So, you guys also have a a place where you could do group submissions, maybe put a link or tell us where people can do that, because I need to grade some cards soon too. I got a lot of Kobe's.
Yeah. Pierre Luc on ComC, they automatically list it on eBay for you as well. So basically, what happens on ComC is you list your prices for sale. So it's just like listing it on eBay. Meaning, let's say you have a card, you list it for sale for $20. That means someone can buy it now, or they can send you an offer, much like on eBay. And then, of course, they'll do the same thing on their eBay store as well. So super cool. Again, 5% of the final sales what they take. So even if you're selling a card for $100, you get $95 back. Mm-hmm. So to me, it's well worth it. And there's only a one-time cash out fee too. So again, like if you just cash out, let's say $100 at a time, you're going to get $90 back. So not bad.
Yeah, and all prices are USD. Yep.
Which is nice for us.
US dollars. Yeah. Yep, US dollars. So if you don't know, I'll even look it up now, even though money is crazy. I mean, there's trillions of dollars that are being currency being traded every day. So if you go USD to CAD, it's probably about 75 cents. So Canadian dollar.
75 cents, 100. We'll give you about 125 then.
Yeah, so Canadian dollar worth about, looks a little different here, but
yeah.
CAD to USD. There we go. Yeah, so Canadian dollar is worth about 79 cents US. So about $20, 20% difference in Canadian and US dollar. So,
which is actually really nice too. Like when it's your bank account, that cash out, it's not bad at all, to say the least. So, I actually, and again, man of science, as I call it, I actually sent myself $100.
Man of science stuff. So funny.
Right. So, I sold an Artemi Panarin card. This was the same PSA 9 card that I got shipped to my door for $20. Right. So I sold it all, and I was like, you know what? I should probably keep this money in here and keep acquiring cards. But I got a baby on the way, needed to make some purchases. So I said, hey, you know what? I could use this money, took out the cash out. 4 days is all it took, and that was a weekend. So I made the cash out request on a Friday and got it on Monday morning. So not too bad. What else do we have here?
David Ayers, no.
The Zamboni driver.
Zamboni guy?
Any of him, but I can tell you right now, you can pick up his Young Guns on eBay, or pardon me, not on eBay. Let's see here.
Who's the guy that bought the OJ Simpson cards? I think that's funny. Thing is, really good too till he stabbed that girl.
So he's $25 raw ungraded on ComC right now. And there's a bit of arbitrage because that's the cheapest. And then the second most expensive is $35. Mm-hmm. So there's a $9 profit right there if you were to, presumably speaking, buy it and then flip it.
David Ayers. I don't know if that would be my method, but hey.
Yeah. So again, Nick, yes, prices are in Canadian. Yeah. What else do we got on here? It's basically everything that we had planned here, Mitch.
Yeah. We didn't talk about UFC cards at all.
Oh, yes.
That is my biggest regret. Not because, dude, I've been following UFC for years when Brock Lesnar was fighting. I love fighting. I love watching people fight. I want to go to one of those events.
Yeah, they're just crazy expensive. And I mean, we also have TJ Laramie. So shout out to TJ Laramie. He's a local fighter from Windsor, Ontario, who is in the UFC right now.
Yeah.
So.
But I did get recently a Khabib Nurmagomedov. This is going to be a 2013 Topps card. So if you do know UFC, This is one of his first ones. I got a couple on ComC as well.
Nice.
Under the Zion King. So this is the Topps Finest. Arguably one of his first cards. He had a debut card in 2012, a UFC debut, but people want like $1,000 for that. So this is one of his first cards, and it's a nice card. So
just gonna pull up this quickly here, Mitch. Nick Suzuki's Young Gun prices have been booming for the past few months. Is right now the time to sell, or is it still worth holding? Listen, I thought his price was really high at $100. I don't know what they're at the moment. I will look it up though. And then I can let you know what I would do. Again, this is all relative to like what's the price point that you got in. So like if you could just comment what's the price point you got in at, that would greatly help. Okay, so he's $115 US right now.
Suzuki?
Yeah, Nick Suzuki's 115 US, at least on ComC. Might be slightly different on eBay. However, I believe in Nick Suzuki, and I believe that the Montreal Canadiens are playing well. I would advise you, because like if anything, he's going to continue to rise, and he's not going to go down within the next week or two. So just see how his play comes out. If he drops below 100, that'll take his play to be just significantly worse. I would advise you to probably hold on to that right now. Yeah, that's exactly it, right? With the conversion, it currently sells for 185 Canadian on eBay, versus about 120 on eBay, 120 US. Yeah, that's about right.
Can we talk about stickers for a minute?
Stickers as an investment. In terms of soccer stickers?
Dude, any sticker. Why do people like stickers are for kids when you like do something good in grade school. I don't understand stickers. They're not cards. No. Stickers are
thing though.
Are activity things, right?
When you're holding,
I don't like stickers. I don't like stickers.
When you're holding
buy a real card. Buy a rookie card, unless it's Michael Jordan. Don't buy a sticker. I don't understand. I don't want a sticker. If you give me a sticker, like give me like a smiley face sticker, like from Walmart.
I disagree.
I don't. I know they're valuable, but I don't understand stickers. Like, are we gonna make like pennies come back and worth something? I don't get it.
But that's just it, right? Our culture, being Canadian and growing up where we have stickers, might have that that effect on you. However, across the pond, over in England, in the UK, and all that, stickers are people love stickers, man.
Yeah, I understand. They're cheap. They're cheap because they're stickers.
But they're not cheap, dude. An Erling Haaland rookie sticker is $200 US.
I wouldn't pay $200 for a sticker. And I understand they're big. It's just, to me, I never understood stickers because it's a fake card. Here it's not big. It's weird. It's weird to me here. I don't know.
It's weird, like when you're holding them in your hand, when you see how little they are compared to the size of a sports card.
I'll buy a Zion sticker.
Of course you will, right? But that's the mentality. So because Joe buys a Zion sticker, a big Messi fan, and Messi's got 190 million Instagram followers.
I'm kind of joking. It's just, I don't know. I'm not a sticker guy. But anyways, maybe you could talk about stickers. I don't want to talk about stickers.
I love stickers. Long term, I like cards more because the US North American market likes cards, and that's what we're accustomed to. Yeah. But what you need to remember in terms of soccer, right? Sure, America alone has 400 million people, but when you look at across the pond, when you look at Brazil, when you look at Australia, when you look at England, and you look at all of those population, that's much larger than 400 million.
In soccer,
for soccer, which by the way is the biggest sport in the world. Yep. Soccer, fooling yourself that they're not a good. The sticks they're sharp too, man, and like they're tough to grade because they're so flimsy.
Yeah.
They're so flimsy. So there's a lot of rarity that goes into that too. I don't know, man. Like I have a Jaden Sancho, and like I said, I also had a Bukayo Saka one. It's so weird holding it in your hand. You just feel like you have something different, something unique. They're nice. Like they're really, really nice. And like even the little packet. So you know what a wet wipe is? Like a little wet wipe in the package that they come in.
Yeah.
That's essentially how these stickers come in, and that's how delicately you have to open them. So when you think of a PSA 10 sticker, for it to be well centered, no surface area or anything, and for you to just open it in a nice pristine condition, I don't know. There's just something that hypes me up about stickers.
And Kenny has a good question. And dude, I haven't picked any up, but I think Usain Bolt is big. He's a big time athlete. And the other thing too, I mean, well, what about like Bruce Jenner, dude? Like that might be a card to get, right? Wasn't he like a
Bruce Jenner or Caitlyn Jenner?
Caitlyn Jenner. No, but it would be. Wouldn't it be Bruce card? I don't know. Right? Does he have a card? Does she have a card? Or
I wouldn't even know what to call her, and I'm trying to be.
No, in terms of a card, right? I don't want a dead name, Bruce.
I'm pretty sure the card itself would say Bruce Jenner.
Let me look. I've never, because dude, there's legit a Bruce Jenner 2012 Panini card.
Wow,
that might be something. And somebody got an OJ card.
That's you know what, Kenny? Shout out to you for that wonderful question. Yeah. That kind of just opened my mind to a whole different world. And I know for a fact, like Joe Biden has a card.
The low money mindset. What up, bro?
Oh, what's up?
Dude, send him a link. Get him on.
Shout out to the man. What's going on? Malone Money.
Dude, I'm going to buy this Bruce Jenner card. $3?
Yeah.
Should I buy this Jenner card?
Mitch is buying a card live right now. I love it.
Huh? No, I might buy this Jenner card.
I know you will.
Like, this is a dude. And then there's also a Sports Illustrated one.
That could be all right.
That's pretty cool.
I know Stan Lee had a card too. I want to say it was Allen and Ginter, but it sold for some pretty good money.
Pure Luke.
That's a great question.
Website for prospect. Bird knows this.
So I actually made a video specifically for baseball on this. On baseball, you want to check out MLB Pipeline, and that. Or honestly, man, just go on Google. Save yourself the time. Go on Google and type in top whatever sport it is. So let's say baseball. Top MLB players under 25, and you'll have so many listings of articles that people have wrote that will include the prospects. You can do the same thing for hockey, NFL, whatever. So that's what I would actually advise you doing, and then it'll take you to multiple places. If you're on Twitter, utilize Twitter to your advantage. MLB Pipeline, Baseball Stat America, ESPN Stats. Like there are so many different accounts to follow, and just utilize it to your advantage, right? Like I don't know about you guys, but last night I was up till 3 a.m. on YouTube watching 16-year-olds play soccer because I'm ahead of the game.
What a weirdo. No, dude, I know, man. Like who's that one hockey player. This kid was like 10 and I'm like, dude, should I be buying his rookie card? Like this kid's 10. Like I'm prospecting these
It's probably Pavel Barber's client, Iguchi.
Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah.
Dude, I think I'm all about this whole Jenner cards,
I mean, at the end of the day, you need a market for it. And look at the family, right? So I believe that there will be a market in it. People just need to be educated of what's out there. Like once people know that card exists, it very well could take off. I'll be the first to say it.
If Bruce Caitlyn Jenner cards go up in value, it's because of the stream. Just letting you know.
Man,
that's what we're putting on the listing. So
we're going to be accused for pumping Jenner cards, aren't we? all because of who said that? All because of Kenny.
No,
Thanks, Kenny.
but legit Usain Bolt though, I believe in that. Like, dude, when I think of somebody running, I always think, oh, dude, like how fast is this person compared to Usain Bolt? Usain Bolt is sick. Like Usain Bolt, dude, is big time. He is the runner of runners.
Well, he's also doing that payment stuff, right?
All right, I just bought a Bruce Caitlyn Jenner card. So
Did you really?
yeah, dude, Walla, man, I'm buying it. Why not? Why not?
I'm gonna check out ComC to see if there are any.
There are. I've already been researching.
Let's see. Bruce Jenner. There are tons of U.S. Olympic cards and tons and tons and tons. Wow.
I mean, dude, like I said, when we look back, you know, I mean, this is
you can buy a 2000
dude.
piece of his shorts, which is ridiculous. Like this is a sports legend.
One thing I will say though that I've been looking at in terms of kind of weird different stuff, these Spiderman Marvel cards, they made sense to me. Somebody reached out and told me about it, but I told them I didn't want to do an episode because I didn't know about them. But over the past couple weeks, these Marvel cards, they're, you know, do your research. But specifically the 1990 Impel Marvel cards, I don't know, I've been looking at some and I'm like, maybe I should get some more. I got 2 little Spider-Man cards. They were $3 and now they're like $10, $15, $20. So yeah, I just want to share that with you guys too. So something about those cards. So I own a Bruce Caitlyn Jenner card. Oh yeah.
Because of this stream.
Yeah, this is great.
Not bad. All right. I don't know. Yeah, this stream's been going on for some time now.
Yeah. Any more cards? Malone Money Mindset. Should I buy more crypto? I hold Ethereum. Should I buy more Bitcoin?
I'll highlight him again.
And when are we going to be able to use Bitcoin and cryptos for cards? When is that synergy going to come together? What's going on?
I'm sure it's got to be out there. Like there's got to be some people accepting it as a form of payment, but we'll see.
Crypto is balling. Yeah, bro.
That's what he said. Crypto is balling. Yeah, for sure. I mean, it definitely doesn't hurt that Elon Musk, Mr. Tesla, Mr. SpaceX, Mr.
Dude, does Elon have a rookie card?
Elon Musk have a rookie card? I don't know how you'd call that a rookie card, but
business. That's a thing we need to talk about, dude. Steve Jobs business cards. I heard was a big thing. I'm gonna look that up.
His business card.
So what's happening is that there's Bill Gates, you know, Steve Wozniak, in what are you doing? Let's go with Bird's camp.
Getting comfy.
A very inappropriate angle. Like, please change your angle.
What?
It's just weird. You're laying down or something. Like, it's weird. Yeah. Maybe go back to where you were. What is going on? But yeah, I heard business cards. People are grading them, man. Like these big CEOs, people are grading. And Elon Musk has a card. He has a card. There's a signed RP custom trading card of Elon Musk. That's cool.
Not bad.
That is really cool.
Yeah, there's tons of like non-sports guys.
Yeah. But I heard business cards are really good, like Steve Jobs business card. It's kind of cool. Makes sense. Small, compact. $1,400 for Steve Jobs Apple business card. $1,400 listing.
Wow.
Chairman of the board, Stephen P. Jobs. Wow. Dude, this would grade really well.
Wow. There's a Tops Now 2020 Tops Now election. Joe Biden, $15. The print run is 4,700.
A Biden?
Yeah, there's a presidential debate Tops Now. of Trump and Biden.
Oh man,
The print runs 4,000. It's 300, $20.
make cards great again, dude. I see a Pirate Sleepy Joe card, and then I see the Kamala and Biden. Those are nice cards, eh? The Biden and Kamala card, kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, if guys are we
If you're a
honestly
fan,
the next thing?
there's a huge market for presidents, right? Like a huge, collection that people collect that stuff, right? So
I need to listen to that. So my man Jackson says, "Do you think I should sell my Mbappe Topps Chrome PSA now?" Or
no,
right before the Euro. Jackson, even if you made 2 times, Mbappe is playing on Wednesday in the first leg of the round of 16 in Champions League. If he moves on and if he scores, let's say, a hat trick or something, that card price is going up. Then, as you mentioned, he's going in the Euros. Then after that, the World Cup. Hold on to dear life, Jackson. That is a phenomenal card to have. It's aesthetically pleasing, and Mbappe, arguably speaking, is the greatest striker in the world right now. Hold on to that. Please hold on to that.
And we just got a 5-star review on our sports card collecting and investing course, which is pretty
Nice.
Cool. Yeah, so that course is helping out a lot of people. So if you guys don't know, go to udemy.com. We have an online course. So it teaches you how to collect and invest in cards step by step. So if you feel like you're lost, if you already know what you're doing, it's still cool. It's $10. So when it goes on sale. So yeah.
Cool.
A lot of positivity there. I was going to hold it. Good. Yeah. I only know like a couple soccer players. I would hold Mbappe. In fact, I wish I bought them a long time ago and I didn't. So
yeah.
I have like Muhammad. I have his cards.
Mo Salah?
Yeah, I have Mo Salah. Again, I don't know these guys. I don't know soccer that much.
By the way, Mo Salah is likely going to score 20 goals yet again, and likely going to win the Golden Boot for the most goals in the EPL. I think Mo Salah is a great buy right now too. I'm looking at what he's done in the course of his career, what he's currently doing, and I think Mohamed Salah is a tremendous buy. Same thing with Harry Kane. Okay, look at Harry Kane's stats. Harry Kane, actually, I'm not going to look it up. I'm going to bring it up.
Dude, I would definitely buy some Usain Bolt cards, though. That makes sense to me. Yeah. Like, again, when people look back, dude, Usain Bolt is huge. He's legit, man. Like, there's been nobody else like him. He's legit, man. He's really legit. How long does it take for you to receive your ComC cards you request? I haven't done that yet. I've never had ComC to me, so I don't know. I don't know that.
Yeah. For the record, by the way, Harry Kane in 21 matches has 13 goals and 11 assists. He's tied for most goals, first in assists by a long shot. Harry Kane is one of the most undervalued, most underappreciated players in all of soccer, and his card prices are so cheap right now.
Thanks for telling me, Bird. This is the first time I'm hearing about this.
Of Harry Kane?
I don't even know who that is. Harry?
No, you don't listen when I talk to you about soccer. You shut me out.
No, that's football. Football, dude, I could have got on Patrick Mahomes.
Tell people this story. Wait,
no,
1 second.
No, it's horrifying. I could have got – Bird was telling me like months and months before Patrick Mahomes made it to the Super Bowl. He's like, dude, you got to buy this guy's card. It's like $50, $100. I'm like, no way, dude. I ain't spending $50 on this Patty M guy. Screw that. So we're watching the Super Bowl like a year later, and I'm looking, and I'm like, that's that guy you're telling me about, Bird. And then the prices went to like $1,000. So I missed out on Patrick Mahomes. And he's like, oh, you should get this Jimmy Garoppolo guy. I'm like, who's this guy? This guy's like trying to model and stuff. And I'm like, dude, both of these quarterbacks Bird mentioned to me, they're in the NFL Super Bowl. So I don't invest in the football.
And although he didn't make the Super Bowl, I was telling you very, very, very early about Josh Allen.
So I have a question for the audience. I'm doing some research on it. It seems to me that the 2008 Sports Illustrated Kids Usain Bolt card number 294 is one of his first premier cards. Which Usain Bolt is the card to get and why? I want to know. Because I believe in Usain Bolt. That makes a lot of sense to me. But again, when he's not running anymore, how many people are into Olympic cards like that, right? It's not like it's a big major sport. It's very I mean, you got what you get to race like one time a year, like major race for the gold. So every 4 or 5 years, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if there's.
I don't even think he's still running though because of the
he's 34. He's 34 years old now too.
So. Right. I don't think he's the fastest in the world at 34.
I don't know, Bird. He's 6'7" or whatever. He's a big dude.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, at 34, I mean there were guys who were beating him, right? Like, but I mean, regardless, his legacy is what his legacy is. He's literally the fastest man in the world, so could be a buy. Michael Phelps too, right? Like, are Michael Phelps cards a buy? I don't know.
Phelps, I don't know, man.
You know, because that, and again, guys, here's why we bring it up. Because the top 4 major sports in North America: baseball, basketball, football, and hockey. But like, then there's soccer. Then there's then you got UFC cards, and you got wrestling cards starting to pop up. So like, what's next, right?
Yeah.
Carrie says that's the one that he is, Mitch. 2008 Sports Illustrated Usain Bolt.
Seems like that's a pretty good card.
Yeah.
I still, dude, I really think even in the short term, midterm, and long term, Mike Tyson is so undervalued. Like,
see, I believe.
Yeah,
I'm not sure why tennis cards haven't popped up yet.
Because it's tennis, dude. I like tennis, but
no, like tennis has a major audience, and when you look at what Roger Federer's done, dude, his rookie card's $32. $32 for his Net Pro. Actually, the Net Pro that I would go with, the base number 11, it's $47. But again, Roger Federer, this card's $47. You're trying to tell me, you know, the guy who's got like the most Grand Slams, the most Wimbledons, the most. Yeah, it's Roger Federer.
He's arguably the biggest name in tennis ever, right?
He is, though.
Like, when you think tennis, you think Federer. When you think boxing, you think of Ali and Tyson. Like, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
When you think basketball, you think Jordan, LeBron. So you have to think of those players too. Like, there are current players that are playing that, you know, like Brady. Dude, Brady was the best buy to get. You weren't going to lose if you bought him before or after the Super Bowl. Like, I didn't get any because they were so high. I don't just have 15 grand to buy his card.
But this comment here, right? Federer cards are off the chart. Or pardon me, I clicked on the wrong one. This comment here, Federer cards are off the chart. That's not the case on ComC. They're $47, and like I own one because I used to play tennis, and I love tennis, and I love Federer. The Net Pro, I'm talking about the 2003 Net Pro.
You've seen him play.
$47.
Yeah, we've seen Federer play live. Remember we saw Nadal and Federer at the same day? Federer was playing Djokovic. That's the thing, man. Like, Serena Williams, very undervalued.
Serena Williams, to me, though, I've just lost so much respect for Serena Williams. I'll never own a Serena Williams card. I don't know how she receives such royal treatment. I have no idea how you threaten a ref to kill the ref. And then when she did it again when Naomi Osaka won the U.S. Open, and she completely took the spotlight away. I've lost so much respect for Williams there. Again, she's incredible. It's like, she literally won a Grand Slam like 7 months pregnant. Like 7 months pregnant.
Yeah.
she's incredible, but I've just lost all respect for her. That's all.
Yeah. Well, she was complaining.
Okay, so that's interesting, Mitch.
We're living in a weird time.
Last week was $29.
Who's that?
Federer.
Federer?
So are apparently going up.
I don't know, dude. I think I'm gonna buy more of these Jenner cards. Those are, dude. I bought one for $5. I'm gonna grade it. That's gonna be the test.
Yeah, maybe. Below Money Mindset said he's the highest paid athlete in the world. Yeah, I mean, when you look at the local what's it called? The sports sexpertise continuum, he's off the charts there. Basically, what that I bet you didn't even know that this existed, Mitch. I actually did a report on this in grade 11 for one of my classes. So the sports expertise continuum, it's how big is the sport, how good is the athlete good looking, and it's one of these spectrums that just has so many things to consider. But Roger Federer is like off the charts, the highest up on there.
Well, why would I know that?
I don't know. In terms of investments, you need to know who's high there. Like Ronaldo.
I don't know who the hottest tennis player is. I don't think about that.
Dude, I'm a married straight man, but I know that Cristiano Ronaldo is a good-looking man.
Yeah, I guess. Zion, baby. Zion is the best-looking, best athlete in the world today.
No.
Yeah, Federer's cards are pretty expensive. Like when you get his true rookie, though, like. But again, dude, it's kind of like Tiger Woods, man. Dude, that's one I really missed out on. I was gonna buy 20 of his PSA 10s when they were like $100, and I'm like, nobody's gonna buy these Tiger Woods cards.
Yeah.
And then, yep, I could have been a Tiger Woods millionaire, dude.
All right, we got 5 more minutes, and then my back's going to give out, and I got to get some food. So, last-minute questions.
Michael Schumacher, is that a car driver?
Yes, I was going to say, I was hoping you knew who he was.
I would buy Ricky Bobby. That's the only card I'd buy. If you ain't first, you're last.
I mean, dude, NASCAR is huge. Like, NASCAR is huge, especially, I believe the Daytona 500 is coming up, too, so.
I would buy Ricky Bobby rookie cards for sure.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Well, what about Dale Earnhardt? He's a beast.
Junior or senior?
Junior. Junior, of course.
Maybe the senior is the one to go.
Well, you going to get Tatis Jr. or Tatis Senior?
Yeah, but Dale Earnhardt Senior was phenomenal as well. I mean, bless his soul.
Yeah, I know. Love that movie. Me too. And that Sacha Baron Cohen's really funny in that too. That whole movie is funny. I don't know how acceptable it would be today, but I die when I watched Step Brothers a couple nights ago. I was dying laughing. I'm like, this is really inappropriate. This is good though. That wouldn't fly today, I don't think. It wouldn't.
I mean, Will Ferrell is so hit or miss in my opinion. Like, Elf, right? Elf is obviously huge for many people, probably his most successful film. And then you have some stupid movies like Blades of Glory and Tropic, whatever that's called. When he was semi-pro.
Yeah, semi-pro is not funny, but Blades of Glory, it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny.
I don't know.
The idea is kind of funny. It's a little weird though. It's not his best.
Yeah. But I will agree, like Step Brothers, I was cracking up the entire time.
Yeah.
And Elf, obviously. And what's a third one that I really enjoyed? Talladega Nights is, dude, I can quote that movie all day. I'm all hyped up on Mountain Dew. Dude, I'll take you like a spider monkey.
Yeah. Talladega Nights may be the funniest sports comedy of all time. I love Talladega Nights. That movie is stupid funny.
Yeah. All right, though. Last one. Kyler Murray is a good pick.
Last one, guys.
This offseason. I'm not a Kyler Murray fan. I genuinely believe that quarterbacks who are short, who rely too heavily on their legs, won't pan out. Will I be wrong? More than likely.
Johnny
But
Manziel, you didn't work
I'm
out.
not investing in Kyler Murray. I think he is incredible, and I think he will have a good career. I just I have a hard time seeing, dude, like when you can't like there were certain games where schematically the defense were playing a certain way that didn't allow him to physically see his receivers downfield because he was too short.
Mhm.
And he's fast now, but is he going to be fast at the age of 30, 32 if he gets to that point? Probably not. So I don't know. I think he's good. I just don't think he's going to be one of the greats. So for that reason, I'm not investing in him.
Bird, there's 3 greats you need to get: Mike Tyson, Mike Jordan, and Mike Trout. Those are the 3 Mikes.
Invest in the mics.
Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
All right,
All right,
guys.
so I got to get going. My dog's going nuts. Thanks everyone so much for hopping on this extremely random live chat. Mitch and I are going to try to make it more of a regular thing. So
I'm gonna go to our Facebook group, dude.
will you tell them? You can tell them.
All right, guys, we have a Facebook group called @RedCapeSports. Check it out. We have over 500 members. You can sell your cards, request cards. You could ask us questions. But yeah, that was fun. Let's do it again next week.
All right, guys. Peace.